really a passion. I'm telling you. Like,
That is
you
true.
looking at it and be like, damn.
That is true.
He went crazy. She went crazy. What made that so appealing to me?
Everybody, it's your girl, MV Reactions, back on your motherfucking screen. So today we're gonna be reacting to different streamers at Streaming University. I'll be talking my last episode because that shit got wild. They started and already getting wild. But this one we have Agent. He's basically telling people, you know, what's going on. Like he's giving the real tea. So let's go ahead and watch. I am on who live is this? I am on Sir Bear Baby's live. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get into it because he already talking this girl head off to that.
So when you create content that's evergreen, you're not just winning while you're live. It's just winning.
They're not even paying attention in class. So basically, Agent telling people like how to really grow on social media for those that didn't listen to last time.
This is no troll, one of the best executors of YouTube content. I want you guys to really lock in. I mean, try and analyze the first minute.
Yes, lock in, y'all.
Pick a cringe spot if you want to win, or pitch to a funny spot that usually doesn't end up working out. But what if you had actual professionals, aka artists? How would they do? To find out, I employed the help of my good friends.
They are bored. Agent, I feel like you should talk about it, not like watch the videos because they're getting bored.
YouTube, there's probably not a single video that any of you guys did. He's just the best executor right now. And the crazy part is like Ludwig is not like a class at speed. Like obviously no disrespect, but he's pulling numbers like that on YouTube. This is not
Let me go to Agent part because I can't hardly hear.
So when you want to look at mastering YouTube, mastering hooks and long form, I genuinely don't know if there's a better person than Ludwig to do that. And then here are some examples of good thumbnails. So dumbest spots and Mecha Chameleon. Simple title, you know, a circle and an arrow. Couldn't be that hard. But when you put yourselves in the audience shoes, you're scrolling through, and you're like, where? I don't see anything. Boom, that's it. Where? I don't see anything. Let me click the video. That looks like a crazy spot, right? This is the Ash Out video. Ash is one of my favorite YouTubers and now streamers. And this is one of his funniest videos. I took a racist to the most dangerous hood in America. And not only was the content phenomenal, it was like a double prank where like he was frying people. It was like a really, really good video. But on top of that, this guy looks petrified and he's surrounded by people that you can make context of or in the hood. It's just a good video. So you should be looking when you're watching streams, when you're watching YouTube videos.
So basically like the thumbnail.
Don't just click the thumbnail. What about the thumbnail made you want to click it? If you're not asking yourself that question, you actually are just zombie consuming content. You actually haven't learned nothing. You know what I'm saying?
It's the thumbnail, basically.
Like, what's your passion? Read and music. Sometimes when you're listening to music, do you feel like, oh my God, I wish he would have done it like this? Or you think about why did he do it in that note? Because you became now you're a student of music. If you're watching film, now you want to analyze the lighting and why they frame it like that. And oh, who did the score and the music? If you're not thinking like that as a streamer, is it really a passion? I'm telling you. Like,
that is true.
Be like, damn.
That is true.
He went crazy. She went crazy. What made that so appealing to me? You will learn so much by simply asking that question.
Tone.
If it's peak content and you can afford it, I would say yes. You don't have to do it for every video. That complements the title and the thumbnail, and then the video starts. It don't have to be crazy, well edited like that.
Right, like it's just like the clip in the beginning, like a nice advanced clip, and then you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying.
All right. In this stage, you might want a manager. You're gonna start getting certain brand deals, certain opportunities. You get to that point, 250 to 750. Yo, can we quiet down, please? This is 250 to 750,000 followers. Yes. So you might want a channel editor. This is someone that's gonna manage your YouTube channel. So you can give them pointers, post this content today. My YouTube manager, my editor, no, he knows he posts this as soon as humanly possible.
That's what I need, because
content, you know what I'm saying? Might be a clip that comes from it, but then we're gonna post it on YouTube and it's most likely gonna perform well on there.
I love how Agent is definitely teaching these people the real shit. Look at Pitbull, y'all. Agent is really teaching them the real ish.
On your channel. So, and if you're using IRL Toolkit, they'll save it in the cloud over there too. And then when it comes to how you spend your time, okay, you're still spending a large portion of your time using shorts and streaming, but now you want to spend time making things happen, operations, coming up with segments, thinking of things that are higher appeal, more interesting, right? You want to spend 5% of your time on business, reaching out to brands, building relationships.
Yes.
This is stuff that we're going to get to later that's going to fund some of the stuff you do.
Oh, I
and
can't wait,
also,
y'all.
you want to be spending a good amount on long form. But if you have a channel manager, you won't have to spend too much in this area. If you don't have a channel manager, it might look a little bit thicker. Okay, and now we're getting to the 750 to 1 million range.
This one you really made it. When you hit 1 million, this is when you really made it.
Am I slow? Okay. All right. In this range,
Yo, who the fuck is?
you can finally stream more. Okay.
Who is that?
Which might always be a good thing. Sometimes you don't want to be a volume streamer doing 12 hours a day. It's a burnout. But in this, if you want to think to yourself, what, like, let me give you a couple examples. Like, in this context, let's use Lacey for an example. Lacey has a channel manager, he has editors, he has managers, he has all that stuff. There's really no reason why he can't maximize his time streaming.
Right.
And even after here. So, like, as a really big streamer, it makes sense to dive more of your time into streaming. That's going to result in more clips. That's going to result in more revenue. That's going to result in a better connection with your community. But I wouldn't pre this before you did all the other stuff. Building the community exclusively on them streaming platforms is very, very challenging. So if the goal is growth, spending time off platform first is the best way to do it. All right, couple fun facts. We talked about it earlier. Co-stream everything, please, for the love of God. If you guys want to reach out to a certain content creator, Instagram is actually the best way to do that. On your story, at them, it shows up in their notifications, and most of the content creators I know look through that. So even if, and you'll see it, they'll be in your views. So like if there's something you want to say to somebody, don't spam them, obviously. But like that's probably, if I knew like there's one way I want to reach somebody, I literally put up a story and then at somebody. You can literally do it too, so they're the only ones that see it. But if you want to specifically make sure someone specifically sees something, that's the best way to do it. Twitch stories are very underrated. I actually don't use them. Kai, the one that told me this last week. And he used them for every stream. You know what I'm saying? If there's a stream he wants to hype up, Twitch stories send a notification to your Twitch followers. So now they know when the stream is going to happen.
That's what's up.
Instagram communities, super underrated, especially if your community is already on Instagram. I know Twitter comms are leaving soon, so if you're looking for an alternative, I made an Instagram community. I personally couldn't be bothered with Reddit.
Instagram community. Oh yes, they do have one. I have one too.
Study, the more you win. I promise. If you are not studying, you will win less. This is facts. You can be the most entertaining person in the room, but if you are not paying attention and studying the content that's performing on your channel and on others, you will be limiting yourself. This is factual. In this section, you want to spend a large percentage of. Yo, can we quiet down, please? In this section, you want to spend a larger percentage of time on strategy. What direction are we headed? What's some fire shit I can do for the summer? What's the rollout going to be like? You know what I'm saying? You want to spend a large portion of your time streaming. The streaming is the top funnel. You go live, the clips eat on socials, you post it on the YouTube. The more you stream, the more content gets disseminated everywhere. You want to spend a good amount on the business side. Ideally, you don't have to do too much because you got managers and agents and things of that nature. And then 10% is now managing. You have a team. You actually have to manage people. And you can arrange your team however you want. It genuinely really depends on the type of content you do. My content is really variety. We use some IRL, some gaming. We do a little bit of everything. So this is the layout that I found was compact enough to where like it's not too much people because then you got to travel with everybody and stuff like that. But it's like you're not bottlenecked. I don't have to think to myself, oh my God, I wish we had another hand. You know what I'm saying? So the teams are super specific to the content that you do. There's no ideal.
I really love how he's telling us this stuff.
If you know a bigger streamer, ask them. Before I made a hire, I called Ludwig. Yo, Ludwig, what you think about this? Yo, Kai, what you think about this? Phantom, what you think about this? Because everybody has a different formation. You want to see which formation might make sense for you.
I got a question. So, as you can tell, you have all those members on the team.
Hopefully he repeat that because I can't understand what he's saying.
On that task, or is it like a team thing?
It's a team thing. Everybody.
Oh, okay.
Where you find these people? Wait, can you say
Everybody helps everybody. Yeah. If someone only does one thing, they're a little useless.
Okay.
Yeah. Like today, for example, my channel manager is doing some clips. You know what I'm saying? But like everybody helps everybody.
I also believe that.
You talking to him?
No.
Okay.
He's the guy.
Okay.
But I would just say, like, I personally tell people that it's also good to know a little bit of certain other people's jobs just in case. Like, you have multiple.
100%. Yes. He's not even a cameraman. He used to run operations. So, but he could also run camera.
So where you find these
Referrals usually for me. I'll ask people.
Bro, get your hands off this man.
Like good, because like people
Get your hands off this man.
work ethic is kind of like consistency is like
Yeah.
No, for real though. I really love how Agent is really
we can
teaching the
talk about
game
something
because
else.
I need to
Let me give you an
know.
example.
Lock in, you guys. Lock the fuck in if you want to
Now we're
know.
talking a little bit about money, so I need everyone to pay attention. I know money sounds like the thing you do to get Ferraris, but this is not true. Money is the thing that's gonna make your ideas come to life. Some of you guys have some really big ideas, some things you want to try, but you can't put a trigger. Why? Because it's a huge fucking risk. Certain risks are worth taking, others aren't. I'm gonna give you 2 examples. This is a risk that had paid off for me. So, first time I went to the Arctic, first of all, I bet my chat that I could survive in the Arctic. They said, no, you can't. I said, all right, bet. Yeah, I booked a trip, and I knew I was probably gonna lose money. Across flights, the north is super expensive, et cetera, et cetera. We'll get into the expenses, but it made some money though. On the YouTube, the video actually performed really well, so I was able to get almost $7,000. And then the actual Twitch stream of it got $17,000, which sounds good. A couple interesting factors though. 2 years ago, this number would have said 50,000. So ads are down. And it's not because I'm running less ads, it's just, that's the nature of Twitch. Twitch doesn't currently have a system where they could have higher CPMs and lower CPMs like YouTube. So overall, ads are just lower than they are. I know that going into it. That's part of the risk. So I'm making anything from like, what, $24,000 on this. All I had to do is not spend $24,000 and I at least don't lose money on the idea.
Okay.
this is one stream.
Yes. So here are the expenses. So between the hotels, flights, clothing, car rentals, and camping supplies, luckily, on that day I made money. Now, we're not accounting for obviously like staff expenses and stuff like that and how much time we dedicated. We could have spent on anything else, opportunity costs. This is just what we spent. On this opportunity, for me, it's okay to lose money if it's going to get eyes in your direction.
Because scare money don't make money.
One thing I tried that I genuinely believed in, I really wanted to challenge myself. And so if I lost money, I lost money. But let me try my best to maximize, okay? We're going to talk a little bit about the best way to do that in a second, but this is an opportunity that worked out. Let me give you an example of an opportunity that did not work out. So this time I'm co-streaming. I make $2,000 off the YouTube. I'm making $3,000 off the video. So this is the stream, this is the video, and I'm making $16,000 off the Twitch. It's not a bad shout, but this time we're not in the Arctic, we're in the Amazon. Things are a lot more expensive and a lot more remote.
Oh, wow.
And the expenses looked a little bit different.
Whoa.
So this is an example of a bet that financially didn't pay off, but content-wise went ballistics. These are worth doing. If you can afford to eat it, these are worth doing. And you might be asking yourself the question of, okay, how can we reduce the risk of doing some of these big events? Boom, ads. But not the ones you see on Twitch and YouTube. The sponsors that people pay.
Yes. Okay,
Who
Agent.
here reached out to brands before coming to Stream University? 8 people. I was talking to Malik. She showed me, she messaged 50 brands. Half of them responded. I'm talking like Target responded. You know what I'm saying? You're at Stream University. This is the talk of the town. You know what I'm saying? You not reaching
Brands
out to
right the fuck now.
and DJI and Fortnite to see if potentially they might be interested in supporting something you want to do. So I literally reached out to all the brands that I know, and Fortnite came back and said they want to do something to help some students. So we will actually be finding 2 streamers that have not had the brand deal before to do the first brand deal with me a little bit later.
That's what's up, bro. What?
Okay.
I would be so fucking happy to be in Agent class.
But like, I could have said nothing. I could have not asked. You know, we think, okay, Agent, well, you know some brands, so that doesn't count. You've done 10 epic deals before, so that's a little bit of a cheat code. This is true, but let me give you some examples on how to get some of these brand deals. And then I'm going to walk you through how I'm going to execute the Fortnite one, and we're going to pick some students to do it before we end class here today, okay? So back when I was a wee little lad and I haven't blown up on YouTube, there was a website called FameBit. It's like you have to apply for ads. I think the Stream Elements has it now. FameBit got bought by YouTube. Now it's called YouTube Brand Connect. You guys
Look that shit up.
heard of it through there. Brand Connect. So it's YouTube's platform where you can apply for ads. Essentially, if I wanted money, I would see a scale on the website. I'd say, I want to advertise this scale. This is how I'm going to do it. I send them a little paragraph or 2. This is pre-AI, so you have to know how to write. And then you send submit, and you get a brand deal. I just reached out. At the time, I was broke. I was looking for anything. $250 to sell a scale to 10,000 people. I'll do that, man. All right. I need some bread. I was broke on campus at the time. That's just reaching out. The second thing, have you tried asking them? No, seriously though. You are completely underestimating how much. I have talked to brands that have literally told me, We only work with the biggest streamers.
I'll go back.
Brands where they said we only work with the smallest creators. We like doing small deals. We don't want to do anything too big. If you are not asking, you are selling yourself short. Third is management. You'll get a lot of inbound deals, right? For me, there's a lot of deals that come in. Honestly, Epic is a lot of them. Where like they'll reach out to your management and say, do you have any gamers in your roster that are interested in doing this brand deal? So if you can find some good management, it's a whole separate
I definitely need
conversation.
that.
You'll get some brand deals through that. Develop relationships. I had a brand deal a month ago where all I had to do was show them that I actually use a product. I pulled the laptop out. I was like, I use this. It got me a second brand deal. Building relationships. Once you do a brand deal, chopping it up with the people.
That is crazy.
Saying hi, telling them some of your ideas, getting to know them a little bit. This is how you spin back. You don't want to be one and done type of guy. Okay? And then obviously proof of concept. Streamer University, it had like some big support from brands, stuff like that last year. But did you see that page when he showed all the brands this year? He proved it worked. So even though it's Kai Cenat, one of the biggest streamers, and this is one of his biggest ideas, he still had to prove, even Kai had to prove his idea worked before our brands were willing to jump in and help. And now that they know it works and they love the concept of it, exactly. So this also means like if you have a big idea, sometimes you got to bite the bullet and go to the Amazon and you lose $20,000 because
I'm not doing that. But I'll go to other trips.
Okay, so I will say, and I'm going to use the Fortnite example to kind of walk you guys through what you should and shouldn't do. I'm even going to show you the brief if you guys haven't seen it before on like what they'll usually send you and what the communication looks like. The first question you do when you get a brand deal, please ask this question, please. What would be a successful integration for you? If you do not know what they want, you will struggle to do a successful one. This is just facts. So the first question I asked Fortnite, what looks good to y'all? Like, what would you like to have? And they're trying to promote the sprites. So, they're all around campus and stuff like that. Okay, boom. They want to focus on sprites. What about the sprites? Oh, the fact that you could trade them, the fact that you could own them, they're permanent now. It's a new season. Each one has different things. Some of them are really rare, hard to get. Okay, cool. I'm learning all this. I'm farming information. Because when the brands trust you, they're going to let you cook on your stream. They're going to pay you to just creatively integrate it into the content that you're making already. Correct. And the ad I do with the 2 students later will be the actual ad for them. But like, if they don't trust you because you've never done it before, sometimes it's hard to get that. True. Has anybody worked with a brand that was a little bit like, they wouldn't let you do what you wanted to do. They wanted to do it their way. It sucks sometimes. It happens. It happens to me. It happens to everybody. It's not a good experience. But when you can find brands that trust you to just cook up. You feel me? And don't sell, bro. Because when you sell, they're going to look at me next time like I'm a sell. Because they're going to be like, oh, streamers, they don't do brand deals well. So when you do a good brand deal, you put on for everybody else.
Yeah, you can tell the difference between like actually liking the product and actually selling the product.
Then you want to ask a second question. What are the talking points? This is important because sometimes it's going to be hard to fit the talking points into the thing you're doing. And if that is the case, it's cool to say no. So I'm going to show you an example of the deliverables in the brief. And I'm going to walk you through like this is what the brands will send you when you get a brand deal. What I like to do is I put it on a side monitor. You know what I'm saying? You'll have the talking points and you'll have all the facts. The first thing they're going to do is explain the thing that they're promoting. If it's a game like Epic, Fortnite, it's going to be a new season. New season, new fun stuff. This the fun stuff. Look, they got sprites. What do they do? All right, well, they're rare and they got this and we're going to have them all across campus. But for this, you're going to give away a couple brand deals. Okay, that's awesome. Where can you get them? They're going to tell you where you get them. I cannot explain this enough, guys. If you do not understand the thing you're trying to sell, you will do such a bad job. I have met so many streamers that don't look through the brief. They get on there, they're doing a brand deal, they don't know what they're talking about. And it could be kind of like funny in a comedic way, but you're not getting that brand deal again. They're not going to spin back and want to do something with you again. So it's worth your time to understand what exactly it is. In fact, I mean, come on, gang, it's money, bro. Download the game and play it. Download the game.
Right, don't just get it because it's a brand deal. Actually really like the game because people can tell that you're faking it.
It's worth actually testing it. And so, obviously, last night, I'm looking through this, making sure I understand how everything works. And then, obviously, I'm going to break this down to whoever we end up picking here today. But you want to understand how they work, where you get them. You got to extract them. Okay, so there's certain concepts you got to extract them before you die. Otherwise, you lose them. They're permanent this time. They've had them in the past. Okay, now we got the stream requirements. Okay, a lot of this stuff is pretty simple. But if you do not do them, they will text you during the ad really upset. Okay, because for some of these things, you can get sued. So the title has to include Fortnite sprites. Okay, this is what we're doing. Include Fortnite sprites in the title. Okay, and the disclosure, FTC disclosure, you have to tell people, yo, this is a sponsor segment. Okay, this is a sponsor segment, and this is, by the way, guys, a sponsor segment. Okay. And you want to do that on stream too. Now, I'll be honest, you probably can't get away with it if you're a small streamer, but the bigger you get, you genuinely, they will be on your butt if you do not do that part. And honestly, just for your stream too, it's good to.
Right, because they paying you more. Well, I can understand.
So for this one, it's actually pretty compact. Sometimes they'll have panels in your Twitch. Sometimes they'll have a pinned comment. Sometimes they'll have different deliverables. It's all part of the package that you're selling to them when you're getting the actual brand deal. Okay, and so this is the part that I would usually have up. These are the key talking points. I know it looks like a lot, but it really isn't. They're just explaining what the sprites do, the specific sprites with different rarities, what they're called, and what different things are. So like the mythic sprite deploys a shield bubble every time you're using a healing item. So you want to memorize everything in a bullet points. Okay, but if you forget them, you know what I'm saying, in between games, stuff like that, take a look, remind yourself. You should understand how they work, but sometimes they say mad talking points, so it's not always the easiest to follow along with, but don't forget this part, bro. It's way harder to build. It's way easier to maintain a relationship and do mad brand deals with the same brand than to find new brands every time. And there's not a ton of brands. There's only a certain amount spending a good amount on streams, so you want to pay attention to those and focus on those.
Especially if you build a relationship.
Back to the point where if I see a brand I like, do a brand deal with somebody else, I'll reach out. I'll say, yo, I have this idea. Are you interested in partnering in this idea? You know what I'm saying? And that's just, you know, they're spending money. If they're spending money in content, they have a department for it. If they have a department for it, they have a budget for it. And if they have a budget for it, why can't it be you, bro? All right.
Especially if you build a relationship.
And then on the bottom, there's usually the do's and don'ts. So certain brands are going to have certain do's and don'ts. Maybe don't call it a skin if they prefer it called a costume. Maybe don't call it a character if they prefer it's called a hero. Maybe don't swear, you know? Maybe don't do anything that's, you know, not ideal for kids if you're playing a video game that's like 12 plus or something like that. So this is like really obvious stuff, but we've probably all been guilty of it at least once, accidentally breaking them. It's not the end of the world, but well, it can be actually, depending on what it is. You know, if you're doing a Samsung ad and you accidentally show an Apple product, you're pretty much fried.
Now that's crazy right
you pay
there.
attention to some of the stuff. They'll tell you all that in the do's and don'ts. So it's not that scary. I know it's kind of like a lot of text. I wouldn't.
That is crazy.
But they'll send you this just so you know everything to do. So a background on what it is that you're about to be doing for the sponsorship, the talking points, and then a little bit more about the actual.
Oh, if I could be partnered with Epic, I'll be super happy. Or even EA.
Not that scary, right? Has anybody here not done a brand deal?
Literally everybody in that room, well, except for them 8 people that had put their here.
Interesting. Okay, good. I'm gonna talk to you guys before we end class. Okay. So, anybody here not have management or an agency? Okay, so you guys want to focus up on this part.
That's what I need to know. Agency.
Yo, can we quiet down real quick? We're almost done. All right. When you guys, so we talked a little bit about short form, long form, and streaming, right? Now you're reaching out to a brand. You're not just a streamer. You're not just doing a 1-2 hour segment. Now you have a presence on Instagram because you've been posting reels, so you can include the IG story as part of the package. That's good bread. Now you can include the TikTok and the reel as part of the package. That's actually the best bread currently. Yo, listen to me, but please trust me. I talk to a lot of brands. Currently in 2026, in this current month and day and hour, brands are more excited to spend money on shorts than actual streams.
Yeah, that is true.
I've talked to brands that said, I want to do the stream, and they said, do you want to do a short? I'm telling you the truth. All of them, their brains don't completely understand content all the time. They see the views on Twitter and TikTok, and they think those are like the same impressions as your concurrent viewers on Twitch. So it just looks sexier to the suits to see this really big number of impressions, which you can get on shorts. This is just factually true. So even though the influence isn't
that is true though.
It's crazy on shorts, you have a stronger influence, a deeper community, more motion, streaming. That's not how they see it. So we know how they see it. And if this can help fund your big ideas, applying all these concepts, focusing on shorts and long form, how do I tell you? I will make more on a TikTok IG Reel ad than I will on a Twitch ad. And I barely spend time on IG. Like I'm forcing myself to spend more time on that platform. I'm posting 2 reels today.
Crazy.
So please do not underestimate how much money can be made because the native ads on TikTok suck. So you might be thinking there's no money there. The biggest ad I've ever done in my life was a TikTok. Hey Lacey, this class is not this is not designed for you. That's fucked up.
Now he's showing up late to class.
Okay, last thing I want to say is before we pick the students, you always want to ask for feedback. This makes you look good. Feel me? Not only does it make you look good, it's going to help you improve. What could I have done better? Oh, well, they didn't like the part where it was lagging. Maybe fix up the connection. But they loved the part where you talked about this. If you're not asking, you even asking is something that only 5% of people do. Immediately they're going to say, oh, this is a serious guy. And when they take you serious, they're going to spend serious money on you. This is facts, okay? Please make sure to ask for feedback. It's probably one of the most easiest things you could do that's going to make them want to spin back. Okay. All right. Sorry, that was a lot. So I know that was a lot. Sorry to you guys.
Agent, you did good. This basically was an agent episode.
Before we head in, we all appreciate it. Before we get out of here, because we're running a little bit late, okay, everybody who has never done a branding before, please put
All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and end this episode right here. This basically was an agent episode. I didn't think it was going to be an agent episode, but I definitely wanted to get in depth on like really how to grow my platform, y'all platforms. So definitely make sure you take into what he was saying, you guys, or even go back. Hopefully he download the video. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't even put it on YouTube. So please, I'm begging you guys to literally watch this video all the way to the end. And, you know, well, like, just keep going back and stuff because you're already here at the end. Just make sure you guys watch this video so that way you can get in depth on how to really grow your platform. All right. I liked this one. This one was dope. All right, we out. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and we